Yeah, I would agree. And what's cool is like, I feel grateful that I've come in at the time that I have. Like, I haven't experienced, too many terrible locker rooms or practicing in a D3.
Kate Martin just set the internet on fire, leaving WNBA critics in a meltdown. With fearless confidence, she stated, "Yeah, we're getting privileges, and what? No apologies, no second-guessing, just pure boldness." Meanwhile, traditional analysts are fuming, preaching about hard work, while Kate stands firm, owning her WNBA perks without a hint of regret.
Girl, like,
that's good. You shouldn't have to.
And you know what? Like, I'm not gonna say sorry either. Like, I am thankful for that. Like,
please don't.
All
you
right?
shouldn't say sorry.
But here's the thing, also, is like,
it wasn't your fault.
With the landscape of like how sports has changed and everything, is like, people, like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like being in this space, and like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like getting things that we deserve, that people before us have been fighting for so long. So it's like, I feel grateful that I was born when I was born, and I am here.
Kate Martin just shut down every critic coming for Caitlin Clark, and she did it with ease on Sue Bird's podcast. Flashing a confident smile, she made her stance undeniable. No regrets, no apologies. Caitlin Clark has changed the game, and if the WNBA is finally giving her the recognition she's earned, it's nothing more than what she deserves.
Landscape of like how sports has changed and everything, is like, people, like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like being in this space, and like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like getting things that we deserve, that people before us have been fighting for so long.
Let's be real. The WNBA has fought for recognition for years. Legends like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Tina Thompson paved the way when almost no one was watching. They played in empty arenas, made next to nothing, and hoped ESPN would mention their names. Now that the league is finally thriving, some past players seem more frustrated than celebratory. But Kate Martin didn't shy away. She boldly stated, "I can't be sorry that Caitlin and I are getting opportunities y'all didn't get." That's the fearless energy the game needs.
Defense, and in the pros, when she got some minutes early, just her her star and people that were really connecting with her. And she's just the greatest young woman. I'm biased. She's my spouse's biological niece, my niece. When she was 5, she'd stay with us. But she had a dream. She put our poster above her bed in her room. She looked up at the Hawk poster. And, then she, got good enough to be recruited. And the story is I loved her, but I removed myself, right? That I told Lisa, I go, you got to fly down and you got to check that. I mean, this kid's blue collar. And Lisa flew down and she was like, Dad, right?
Yesterday, speaking about Kate Martin,
Why apologize for progress? Did LeBron or Serena? Caitlin Clark earned every bit of it. Logo threes, shattered records, and a surging fan base. Let's be real. She's the reason many people started watching women's basketball. And that's okay.
Before us have been fighting for so long. So it's like, I feel grateful that I was born when I was born, and I am here when I am. And so,
at the right time.
But like, it's the same thing with like Caitlin turning down the, 3-point shooting contest and things like that. Is like, come to the WNBA All-Star, like all of these things, like, this is great for our sport, but it's also great to like intermix, and like for us to be here, and like everything Tip said is like, we have more sponsorships, we have more opportunities, and like, it's really cool to be able to showcase all of that, but also let's showcase it at WNBA All-Star too.
Some claim Caitlin Clark's attention is all about race, but let's be real. If she were 5 feet 7 inches and unathletic, no one would care. She's a generational talent who would dominate in any era. And Kate Martin? She's been in the fight with her from the start. So when she says, "I'm not sorry Caitlin is getting what she deserves," she's just stating facts. Meanwhile, some WNBA vets are throwing shade. "We had to fly commercial." Okay, but does that mean today's players should struggle too? Progress isn't a crime, times change.
Say my goals, like my short-term goals, change year after year. Last year, my goal was to get drafted, and then my goal was to make the roster, and then my goal was, to stay on that team and then give it my best and be ready when my name was called. And so, then my goal in the off season was to work on specific things, and then goal and unrivaled, whatever it is. But my goal for this year, I would say, is just to continue to be confident and like know.
Caitlin Clark and this new wave are transforming the WNBA. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings, and merch flying off the shelves. Isn't that exactly what past players fought for? Yet instead of celebrating progress, some are stuck in resentment. Their contributions deserve respect, but tearing down Caitlin isn't the answer. Kate Martin gets it. She's not apologizing for seizing opportunities or holding back Caitlin's shine just because the system was broken before.
Has done for not just college basketball, but for women's basketball, period, I think has been great. The following, people watching the games, sellouts that we haven't seen ever. It just really bothers me, though, when people just take bits and pieces of what they want to take and they don't listen to everything and you don't hear everything. It wasn't personal. One, it was my opinion on how I think she'll be at the next level, because I do remember me saying that Caitlin, to me, could be the best college shooting. When you put these expectations on these young women in college to go to the next level and be immediately dominant, and when that doesn't happen, then people come back and say, oh, she was a bust, she was a flop, she was. Just let them do what they're doing in college, enjoy what they're doing in college, and let them become stars in the W.
Watching Kate Martin shut down critics is pure entertainment. Some expected her to backtrack, she didn't. She basically said, cry about it. And we're here for that energy. Give Caitlin Clark her flowers. Give Kate Martin hers too. The WNBA is finally having its moment, and instead of dwelling on the past, maybe it's time to just enjoy the ride. The future looks unreal.
Who's pretending like they don't understand why Caitlin Clark's getting all the attention when they just showed up to the WNBA discussion too. Let's start with the fact that the women's national championship game outrated the men's by millions. First time that's ever happened, which is why TV networks already decided to televise almost all of the Indiana Fever games. And road opponents have changed arenas in order to accommodate demand. Because yesterday's price is not today's price. And that's the reason Clark was on SNL ahead of the WNBA draft. And the draft ratings were higher than the previous 6 years combined, with Fanatics reporting Clark's jersey sales were higher than they've ever.
Caitlin Clark is bringing money, attention, and unstoppable energy to the WNBA, and Kate Martin is right there with her. As young stars thrive, some OGs can't help but wonder why this level of hype didn't exist in their era. Kate went undrafted but didn't stay that way for long. When your best friend is packing arenas, the spotlight follows. It's like rolling with the popular kid. You might not be the main attraction, but you're still in VIP. And to be fair, Kate can hoop. But let's be real. The Caitlin Clark cosign is a career booster like no other.
No one person means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. When we look back on this, Caitlin Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were for the NBA. If this thing ever becomes as big as some people...
Well, sorry, it's not a big reason why the Aces have their facility, and it's not a big reason why the Valkyries. But that Iowa team is a big reason for them damn charter flights. We can be honest here, it's a big reason.